if you ever ask anyone, अरे इसके घर पे रेड पड़ी है, the first thing you'll be concerned, अरे क्या हुआ है, सब ठीक है, you know, it's almost like going to a hospital. As an industry, we realize that the industry needs to work. The films need to work for the industry to survive. It's not about a particular actor's film needs to work or does not need to work. It's extremely important for anyone who works in a movie that nothing is bigger than a film itself.
Absolutely.
You know, nothing. No actor is bigger, no director is bigger, nothing. The film is bigger. I hope and pray that both Raid 2 and Nani's film do well at the box office, and people really go out there and have a great time, great weekend. For the longest time in America, there was a phase where only Marvel films and sequels were the ones that were doing humongous business. By someone who is always there out supporting for everyone. He's not the one who ever seeks support from anyone.
Right.
And his films, his fans have always been with him.
Hi, this is Sana Farzeen and welcome to India Today. I have with me the director of Raid 2 and the antagonist, Riteish. Tell me, how excited are you guys about it? How's the feedback that's coming your way?
It's been great because I think trailer really sets how the film is going to go, and the trailer was extremely well received, right from the reception, the comments or the text messages or comments on basic various platforms, be it Instagram, YouTube, have been extremely encouraging, and it's of course a worthy franchise, I would say so, to an extremely popular film made by Raj sir and Ajay.
Of course.
It's something that's it's a film that really is loved by the audience.
Absolutely.
It was loved theatrically and also
Satellite,
post that on satellite. It has been huge. So yes, the Raid fans are all there, and we hope that we'll live up to their expectations.
But Raj, tell me, what was the decision of getting it? Was it the love of the people, or you had already decided that you wanted to take it as a franchisee?
No, I think first when you make a film, you are just wondering whether, you do your best and then give it to the audience, present it in front of them, whether they like it or not. So it was received very well. The first part was received well, but at that point there was no thought. When you are happy that something you have made has worked and people have loved it. But later it came to our mind that it would be great to carry forward the characters. Absolutely. And it will be great to see where it can go, and then we decided to just explore something new, and that's how Raid 2 came about, But it was the content, it was the story that.
But are you feeling the kind of performance pressure, because there's a lot more expectations this time, I guess?
Yes, of course, everybody feels the pressure. I would be denying it if I don't say that I am not feeling the pressure. But I think one has to trust the story, one has to trust the process, one has to trust the actors and our conviction, and see how the audience takes it further.
Right. You rightly mentioned how the film had done wonderfully well. It also earned 100 crores at the box office. Right now, of course, we're seeing that not many films are managing to earn a lot at the box office. Does that also kind of just worry you as a filmmaker?
I won't say worry is not the right word, but yes, we all know that box office has slowed. People are looking forward to watching a film which they feel that they want to watch. So yes, there is people are very concerned of that. So we are aware of that fact, but I believe in theatrical experience. I believe in cinema. That's why we started making films. And I believe that the audience will come and watch good content. We just have to see, what we give the audience.
Right. So tell me, when you got, of course, the script and you discussed Raid 2, what was your initial
feedback? It was, in fact, I knew, when we were doing Pill, he was working on Raid 2, and things were there were a couple of things he was working on, and at that point he hadn't mentioned it to me, but we had discussed as to what the story. What I would like to say that we've become great friends
Yeah.
after working together. Apart from the films or the work that we do together, independently, the film that I'm working on, I will discuss with him, what do you think? I'm stuck here or whatever. And I love his word. He trust the process, and that's what it is. So when he one day he called with Kumar Mangat, and they came to me and they said, we want to narrate something, and I was like, yeah, sure. And they narrated the film to me. I loved it instantly, and that's it. That was the time when there are very few scripts where that you want to say yes at the moment you hear it, and this was one of them.
Amazing.
And sometimes you take your time to see, okay, fine, is the team right? Because me and Kumarji were planning to work with each other for about 8-10 years, but things were not happening. We met for a couple of movies, at least 4 of them, and it didn't work around. And this time we said, देखिए इस बार तो ये होना ही है. I said, आप अगर राज सर को लेके तो ना बोलने की गुंजाइश तो है नहीं, और रोल भी बहुत अच्छा है. And I love Ajay. He's a dear friend, a fantastic actor. And more than anything, I love him as a person. So any opportunity to work together, I would never say no to it.
Yeah, I'll ask about Ajay later, but I also wanted to ask you, Riteish, how was it to play a politician on screen? Because of course you've grown in that same environment.
Sure. No, this is the first time someone has cast me as a politician. So truly, there are few things that I understand because I've grown in that environment. I was born in that environment. What I liked, also drawing parallels, right? What are the things that you can see with Dadabhai? He was a mass leader. He had a political control. Of course, he was not he's not a 60-plus politician as a mass leader. He's a much younger guy. So what are the traits that he would have? And we had a lot of discussions as to how do we pitch him? How is he? What kind of maturity? What kind of, and also self-made guy. He's not a politician's son who's taking over his father's reins. He is someone who is a self-made man. And so, what kind of political graph would he have? For my own understanding, so probably few instances in and around I took around to see where it fits this character, and that's how I try to build. That was my homework. That has got nothing to do with the script, because the script is so strong, the dialogues, everything is so well written. There's very less for actors like me to do, because everything else is so well etched out.
Yeah, you look so natural as a politician. I think we can see that in the future happening.
I think let's test this out, and the kind of politician I'm turned out in this one, I don't think I'll have any future.
Then I think you shouldn't. Then you can drop the plan.
No, not at all. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. But tell me about working with Ajay. Of course, you guys have worked in previously also. How's the equation changed over the years?
No, it's I think this is my 4th film with him, and I'm doing another film, Dhamal Part, with him. He is apart from being an incredible actor, he is a very dear friend, extremely easy, and also, there is a directorial trait in him. He's a director, of course, but whenever he comes to a set, his understanding of subject matter is immense, and he's always prepared, non-interfering actor. He is one of the most secured actors I've worked with. He's not bothered about what lines you have. In fact, he will help you better your scene. He will see to it that, if a character is stronger, will help the film. He will make sure that, that let that character be strong so that it will benefit the film. I think it's extremely important for anyone who works in a movie that nothing is bigger than a film itself.
Absolutely.
Nothing. No actor is bigger, no director is bigger, nothing. The film is bigger. And for that, everyone needs to come together to make sure what you can give to the film. And eventually, of course, the film is good. The film will give it back to you. but you have to invest in the film, not in yourself.
Of course.
And that's what you learn from people like Ajay or Raj. So
Yeah.
it's
Raj, tell
wonderful.
me, like, when you went to Ajay with the script, was it an instant yes, or did you have to kind of wait or convince him? Tell me about that.
No, of course, because he's so related to Raid World,
Yeah.
that when we started writing, he was aware of that we have started. The process has started. Once we finished writing it, that's when we narrated it to him. So he was always in loop
Yeah.
because he plays the protagonist of the film. He
course.
has done the first film. So once we were ready with the script, then we went and narrated it to him. Then he had certain feedback. So so
nice.
then we again pitched it to him, and it was a
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
from that point.
Of course, a lot of conversation is happening about Ilyana being replaced by Vani. What led to that decision? If you could tell us more about that.
I think yes. I mean, it happens. There are all over the world. There are
Yeah.
in Marvel films or any other films. The same character is being played by different actors. So in this one also, it happened, and that was it.
Yeah, but somebody told me, and it kind of stayed, that how it's easier to replace female actors because you always want that face to kind of continue with male actors. Is that true also, Raj?
No, not really.
Yeah.
No. I disagree with that.
Okay. Yeah. Riteish, also Nani recently spoke about, because the film is of course clashing with Hit 3, about how North Bell should go ahead and support Raid 2. Like, what do you have to say about competition between films and they fighting on for screens?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that
Yeah.
there was a clash, but
Right.
Nani is a wonderful actor and his films have been wonderful to watch. I'm a great admirer of his work, but I think we are here to make movies and take them out to people, and people are the one who decide.
Right.
One can never stop other films from releasing anywhere. I think let people decide.
Yeah.
And I just feel that good content should work. People should have the choices, and it should be people money's worth for people. And I hope and pray that both Raid 2 and Nani's film do well at the box office, and people really go out there and have a great time, great weekend.
Yeah, and on that line about having mutual respect for films, Salman recently spoke about how his films do not get as much support from the industry or his colleagues as much as he would have liked it. What do you have to say about that?
I have not heard this statement actually.
Okay.
I've just been
Yeah.
fortunately busy with what I've been doing. But I think as an industry we are. See, I guess Salman is someone who is always there out supporting for everyone. He's not the one who ever seeks support from anyone.
Right.
And his films, his fans have always been with him for decades and decades and decades. So I think the conversation must have been where, in fact, he's always been there supporting the films that I have probably acted in or directed. And so he's always there for everyone, and so are we for him.
Right. But how important is it to actually get support from your colleagues, because your guys are also kind of competing with each other? So how does that equation kind of fit in?
No, I think more than competition, we, as an industry, we realize that the industry needs to work. The films need to work for the industry to survive. It's not about a particular actor's film needs to work or does not need to work. I think that is largely, I would say, a misconception around.
Yeah.
If privately when we chat, we always think that, let the films work, let the industry work, let people come to the theater, let the box office numbers really show, really turn around things.
Yeah.
There'll be good Fridays, there'll be great Fridays, there'll be terrible Fridays.
Absolutely.
But we all need to be there for each other, and there's space for everyone. Of course, some films will do better than the other films. Some not so good films will do great business. Some great films may not do good business. Some terrible films will never work. And that's a cycle. No one can judge. No one has formulas for success. So we all have to try in our own capacity to make as good cinema as we can.
Yeah. And Raj, also there's this curiosity around fans about Sitare Zameen Par trailer being attached to Raid 2. What led to that decision? How is it? Could you just let us know more about it?
I think film trailers get attached to films. Our trailer was attached to Sikandar, so of course it happens in our year, and we are happy that the trailer is getting attached. So that's a decision that producers.
Wow, really
That's a decision that the producers take. So I guess that's what it happens all the time.
Amazing. Also, both of you, because of course you guys worked in sequels and franchises, has that become the new trend in the industry? Like, what's your take on that?
No, I think this is my first
of course, and
one with and because I have done Raid, so for me it was continuation of that that story.
Right.
But it is always, it was not that we instantly thought that we are going to make a sequel to this. If there was we only decided once we got the right story, whether this story had the legs or the characters had the legs to take it to part 2. And once we had that story, once we had that screenplay, that's when the decision was made. So so it's not like a natural progression. It is just that that at that point, once the film releases and once you see the response, once you have a worthy story, that's when the decision came. So for me, that's how it came about.
How do you look at it, Riteish? Because you've of course been part of sequels and franchises.
Currently I'm doing 4 sequels.
Oh wow!
So Raid 2, Houseful 5, Dhamal 4, Masti 4. These are my next 4 films.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just fortunate enough that see, franchises or sequels, when it goes to second part, third part, fourth part, and now fifth part, is all because of the love that one receives from the audience, and it's all how would I say, it's even more pressure to deliver. Though for actors, you fall back in the same thing, that you're doing the same kind of performance again. But yes, if the genres has those limitations, then there's not much you can do as an actor. You do a Raid sequel and then you get something else to perform, thanks to Raj Sir. But yes, I guess world over, for the longest time in America, there was a phase where only Marvel films and sequels were the ones that were doing humongous business. And even in our industry, the big business have been done by sequels, but at the same time, you have had great films first time. Non-sequel films which have done extraordinary business, like Shah or Animal. But there have been, Pathan was one, Jawan was part 1, but Gadar was 2, 3 was 2.
Right.
So films that have done business that have been like 500, 600 crores plus, or Pushpa 2 for that matter.
Absolutely.
So yes, I think there is scope for every kind of film to work.
Right. And individually, I wanted to ask you, like, when you kind of retrospect or look forward to films and the future of cinema, what is that one biggest challenge that we need to kind of overcome?
I think from a writer-director point of view, I can say that, stories, screenplay, those are the things that we should concentrate on. That's how I look at it from that point of view. Everything else comes, everything else also has to come together. But from a writer-director point of view, I think it's the narrative, it's the story, it's the screenplay. That's what the experience of. And when I mean to say experience, I don't mean that, everybody relates experience to being, some VFX, things like that. But the experience is not that. The experience is how your narrative flows, how you give the audience a different experience of the same story. Stories are the same.
True.
That 36 story or whatever it is, we have been telling it for over and over again. But the experience of telling that story, the telling of it, the narrative, the script and the screenplay and the dialogue and the story, that's what I think is something that we need to keep in mind. That's from my point of view, that's the paramount.
Yeah. Riteish, for you?
I agree with him. I think the a good story, screenplay are the cornerstones for a good film.
Right.
Basic foundation for a good film. Without that, we will never have a good film. And like he said, screenplay, how are you going to engage your audience? See, stories are the same. Experiences are something that you can curate for the audience, and that
Right.
will always depend on how you are going to, what kind of journey you want to take them through. And that will also, I feel that every journey you must take your audience where you can grip them emotionally. And that emotion could be anything.
Right.
And it could be laughter, it could be thrill, it could be action, it could
Yeah.
be horror, or it could just be a plain emotional romance. Whatever it is, you need to grip that emotion. It's very important. Today's world, where people are looking at gratification every 30 seconds and
Absolutely.
50 seconds, and they want a punch or something, so the attention span is going smaller. So yes, as writers, as directors, when we are making movies, we need to figure out, okay, fine, this is the experience. Now, what is something that you're not expecting within? Just for the heck of it, if you do it, it falls flat. But
Right.
within that journey, it's, if you go to Disneyland, it's okay, fine, I went to a place, I'm going to
Yeah.
go to another ride.
On a fun note, I'll end it. Riteish, I want you to name 5 celebrities who you want to rate their house, and what do you expect to find there?
To raid their house,
Yeah.
wow, I wouldn't. I don't. Raid is something that, if you ever ask anyone, "Iske ghar pe raid padi hai," the first thing you'll be concerned, "Arey kya hua hai? Sab theek hai?" It's almost like going to a hospital with concern. So I don't think celebrities that I would want to raid.
Not for money.
Yeah, you can find something else.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
I would want
I
you
know.
to, yeah.
I mean, money. To, I mean, it's all legitimate. So there's pointless reading.
But if you
them.
need help, I have a few names. If you
Okay.
have to raid Ajay's house, like what do you think you'll find there?
If I raid Ajay's house, what will I find? I think I'll find a medical cure for every disease that there is, because
Yeah, I
he's
heard that.
he's someone who who knows a lot about medicine.
Okay.
And be it if you tell him I have this pain, he'll tell you, go to this doctor, take this medicine. This is what will happen. So yes, you'll get a lot of good medical
Okay.
advice from him.
Shah Rukh.
Shah Rukh, if you raid his house, I think there's a beautiful library in his house. And if you raid his house, you'll get loads of wisdom, and he's full of it.
Salman.
I think goodness
Okay.
and positivity. If you and food, if ever you go to his house, food is always there. The entire family is so welcoming, right from Salman Bhau to Salim uncle to Arpita to everyone. So yes, ever so warmth and welcoming. Yeah,
Akshay Kumar.
to raid his
His
house.
house, yeah.
If you want to raid Akshay's house, 4 in the morning is a good time. For a healthy outing, he will. Yeah. मतलब जो raid करेंगे उनकी raid लग जाएगी, क्योंकि exercise में लगा देगा सबको.
And lastly, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh my God. What will one get at his house? I think it's just every fan's dream to just look into his eyes and say, "Good morning, sir." And that's
Amazing.
about it. I think all fans raid his house at least outside at 5 o'clock every Sunday to just
Right.
be blessed to see him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.